Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PS Vita review. Which review depends on the link you clicked, because this video is going to be in two parts for me brother to edit it, and this bit's going to be on the start of both vids, because basically, quick explanation, I'm going to be doing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend. Usually I'd do kind of like an add-on review and simply mention all the new stuff, but this is a brand new console, so I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to do everything I've said before, because the vids were like 10-15 minutes long. So I'm going to do a bit of a kind of like enough information so that people who've never watched the reviews or played the games before will have more than enough information to go out and buy the game if they want to, but I'm not going to be doing absolutely everything. So I'll mainly cover the new stuff, but I will cover the basics as well. So now that the blue screen's ended, this is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and this is not the best way to start the amount of uploads that I've done. Apologies to anyone who tried to watch this when it went up the first time. The first comment said there was a problem with the sound. I heard sound, said, well, there's no problem here. Then people started to expand and said it was for 5 minutes of the vid, and no matter what me and Panda have done, it just wouldn't work for some reason. There was always sound up until the moment it tried to be made into a real video and get uploaded, and then it just completely disappeared. So I do apologise. Hopefully you're watching it now, because I'm hopefully going to be able to do this without doing any cuts, and I apologise because that does mean showing off a bit more menu. Anyway, at the start, you've got your offline mode, your online mode. They're self-explanatory. And on the last game, Heroes and Heralds is a new mode where the whole point is you fight for territory, either fighting for the Earth or to take control of the Earth, and you get a lot of power cards which you can build a deck to help you out, so they can increase how much attack damage you can do, your special moves and things like that. They can increase being able to do super dashes, just stuff like that. It's a really cool, expansive RPG style mode, and it's something that does add a bit of bulk to the gameplay, because I noticed with the first game, once you beat arcade mode, there was pretty much nothing to do. Options, you've got fully customizable controls, and despite the fact that you don't have L2R2, L3R3, this is pretty much a perfect port of the PS3 version of the game. It doesn't feel at all like it's been watered down. It doesn't feel anything is missing. It feels like its console counterpart. The only difference is it's got a couple new things, like for example touch mode, which I'm going to start with, because I absolutely hate it and I want to get it out of the way. And I don't hate it because it's gimmicky. I don't hate it because it doesn't work. I hate it because it works too well, and it therefore makes the game pathetically easy. It's honestly like you don't even have to bother trying to play the game if you're actually playing touchscreen mode. So I've just chose 3 of the new characters here. Obviously same rules apply. As much as I would like to show off all of the new fighters, and hell, all of the 50 fighters, I'm only going to be able to show a couple off, so I'll choose as many as I can in the different modes. And one of the cool things I can see is, if you do have the PlayStation version, then you can use your DLC on both versions. You don't have to pay for it again. So I've been able to use the DLC I bought for the original Marvel v Capcom, because I don't own Ultimate on the PS3. But if I did, I could also use this as a controller, and while you don't have L2R2 or 3R3 as I say, I would instead get some buttons on the touchscreen to use as well as all of the actual buttons, and I'd be able to play it. But anyway, as you might have gathered, when you're in touchscreen mode, you can fight normally, because that's what I'm doing now, and when you fight normally the game is amazing, but you can also do this crap. And there, all I had to do was tap a few times and I've done a super move. All I need to do is continually tap to fight my enemy, and no matter how hard that enemy is, I will most likely beat them, especially if you choose the right character, because some characters are better in this mode than others. Ghost Rider there, he was just doing long range attacks, but Firebrand here, he goes right in for the kill, and if you choose someone like that, then it doesn't matter how bad you are at the game. Just by doing this, you'll be able to absolutely decimate anyone, and it removes any strategy, any skill, any need to actually play the game properly. So that's why I personally cannot stand it and do not like it. But anyway, to very quickly finish, I'd be able to link it up and use this as a controller, as I see it, and I'd get some extra buttons there. And it sounds like a cool feature, but I honestly don't think anyone out there who already has the PS3 game is going to think, well, you know what, then I'll just spend £200 and odd on a Vita and another £30 on the game for the Vita to be able to use it as a controller. I really doubt many people are going to do that. It's the type of thing that instead, if you don't have a PS3, I can see you buying a Vita, the game, and then going around to your mates who might have the game on the PS3 and then showing off and saying, well, look what I can do and this, that and the other. But anyway, it still is really cool that you can do some of these things, especially the fact that I can use my DLC, as I say, which I didn't even buy for Ultimate, I bought for the original, but there we go, I've got Shuma Gorath and I've got Jill Valentine over there. And I believe I did do an add-on for the original, showing them off, but just in case I didn't and I forgot, I'll choose the two of them now and one of the other new characters. Who to choose? I'll choose Raccoon. And there's nothing much really else I can say about this game, to be fair. The whole point is on arcade mode, you beat it with the characters, and whoever you kill Galactus with is who you get the story with. So sometimes it's better to actually choose the same characters over and over and then choose one more character. So choose two characters you absolutely love, like for example, I really love Dante and I really love Heisenko, and then I'd choose characters that I absolutely hate or can't stand, like for example Mr. Objection, I'm honestly struggling to remember his name right now, and as I say, I don't really want to do a cut. Phoenix Wright, there we go, I knew it would come to me eventually, because Phoenix Wright is a lawyer, for those who don't know, and who the hell thought a lawyer would work in this game, I do not know, because he doesn't. He's probably the worst fighter I've ever played as in any fighting game, and I don't know, maybe he's one of those characters where you have to play for 10 hours to actually get good with him, and to actually find out why he works, but I personally can't stand him, I don't think he works, and therefore, when I beat the game with them, I decided to choose Dante and Heisenko so I could just clear the bulk of the enemies and then just quickly swap to Phoenix Wright to land one blow on Galactus to kill it to get his clocking sequence, so I didn't have to bother ever playing as him again. And that's pretty much all I can say about the arcade mode, because it's very basic like that, and that's why I'm glad they've added things like the Heroes and Heralds, because the original game, I think it had 38 fighters including the DLC, and it didn't take long at all to beat all of the arcades. And even though Heroes and Heralds isn't hugely long, it still does almost double the gameplay, maybe treble it for single player. But after that, then you're pretty much out, which is why, personally, as much as I love both games, and the proof of that is the fact that I've bought both games, I'd honestly see it that if you're after a fighter, BlazBlue is the best one to get at launch. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it then. It's an amazing game. If you love fighters and beat 'em ups as much as I do, you'll want both, but if you can only get one, I'd probably recommend BlazBlue, simply because you've got way more options and way more things to do on your own, as well as being able to play in ad hoc and online. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.